This is something that happened to me during my junior year of high school in the United States, and to this day, I still get chills thinking about it. What makes it even worse is that the man who broke into our school that day wasn't there to hurt everyone. He was looking for someone specific. And that someone was me. This happened about 3 years ago at a public high school just outside of Columbus, Ohio. It was a Wednesday afternoon during the last period of the day. The weather outside was gloomy with dark clouds and light rain tapping against the classroom windows. Our physics class was dragging on like usual. Some students were pretending to take notes while others were secretly checking their phones under their desks. It felt like any other normal school day. Then suddenly the intercom turned on. The principal's voice came through the speaker. "Attention teachers and students, this is not a drill. Initiate lockdown procedures immediately. Lock your doors, turn off the lights, and move away from the windows." The entire class froze. Our teacher, Mr. Reynolds, immediately ran to the door and locked it. Then he shut off the lights and told us to move to the back corner of the classroom where we couldn't be seen through the hallway windows. At first, we thought maybe it was just a precaution, but then we started hearing footsteps in the hallway. Someone was running. A loud crashing sound echoed through the hallway like someone was slamming into the lockers. My friend Jason, who was sitting next to me, whispered, "Dude, that doesn't sound normal." Then we heard a man yelling, "I know you're here. Come out." 2 girls in the class immediately started crying. My heart was pounding so loudly I felt like everyone could hear it. Then the footsteps suddenly stopped. Right outside our classroom door, the entire room went silent. Someone grabbed the door handle and violently shook it, but the door was locked. Then came a loud bang like someone had kicked the door. Mr. Reynolds quickly gestured for everyone to stay quiet. Another loud hit slammed against the door. Then the man outside suddenly spoke in a lower voice. "I know you're in there." Right at that moment, my phone buzzed. I looked down and saw a message from the school security guard, Mike. I sometimes helped him with computer stuff around the school. The message said, "If you were in the physics lab, you need to get out of there." Before I could even process what that meant, the door handle slowly started turning. But something felt wrong. It wasn't turning from the outside. It was turning from the inside. None of us were near the door. Then suddenly the lock clicked and the door slowly opened. The hallway outside was dark, but there was no one there. Mr. Reynolds quickly rushed forward and shut the door again, locking it. "No one move," he whispered. Before we could even understand what just happened, we heard someone running again in the hallway. Then a loud crash echoed, followed by a scream, but it didn't sound like the same man from before. It sounded like one of the teachers. My phone buzzed again. It was another message from Mike. "The guy has a gun." My stomach dropped. Seconds later, we heard slow footsteps approaching the classroom again. Step, 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 then the man's voice returned. "I know you are in there." Everyone in the class looked at each other in fear. Then he said something that made the entire room freeze. "I only need 1 student, and if you give him to me, the rest of you can walk away." My phone buzzed again. This time the message was from Mr. Reynolds, who was literally sitting 5 feet away from me. I slowly opened the text. "Don't tell anyone, but he's here for you." My hands started shaking. Why would someone come to the school looking for Max? Then another message came through from Mike. Was a former student, expelled 5 years ago because of something you reported. And suddenly I remembered. Back in 8th grade, I had caught a student breaking into the school's computer system in the lab. I told a teacher and the police got involved. That student was arrested. At the time I had no idea how serious it was, but apparently he never forgot. Suddenly a gunshot echoed down the hallway. Bang! Everyone dropped to the floor. Another shot fired. Then screaming, Mr. Reynolds leaned toward me and whispered, "If he gets in here, take the back storage room and run." I turned and saw a small door in the back of the classroom I had never noticed before. Just then, someone shouted from the hallway, "This is the room." Then we heard a key turning in the lock. but strangely the door didn't open. The man outside laughed. Funny, this key always used to work. Then the sound of police shouting echoed from somewhere in the building. Police, drop the weapon. The man outside laughed again. I don't have time for this. Mr. Reynolds looked straight at me and whispered, "Go." Now. I slowly crawled across the floor to the back door and slipped inside the storage room. It was pitch black. Boxes and old equipment were stacked everywhere. But then I noticed something. Someone was already standing in the corner. I nearly screamed. Then the man whispered, "Relax. I'm here to help." The faint light from his phone revealed his face. It was Mike, the security guard. Before I could ask anything, a massive crash echoed from the classroom. The front door had finally been broken open. Students were screaming. Mike quickly moved a large crate aside, revealing a metal hatch in the floor. "Maintenance tunnel," he said. "It leads outside." Just then footsteps approached the storage room door. The man's voice came from the other side. "I know you're in there." Mike opened the hatch. "Go." Now. I climbed down the narrow ladder into the dark tunnel. Seconds later the storage room door creaked open. The man had entered. Mike spoke calmly. "The kid isn't here." The man laughed. "I saw him go in here." Then suddenly, a gunshot echoed above me. Something heavy hit the floor. Footsteps began descending the ladder. I ran down the tunnel as fast as I could. Behind me I could hear the man chasing me. Finally, I saw a ladder leading upward. I climbed it and pushed open the hatch. I emerged behind the school near the parking lot, and police officers were already there. One officer grabbed me. "Stop, hands up," I gasped. "He's coming." Just then the hatch behind me opened. The man climbed out holding the gun. Police shouted, "Drop the weapon." Instead he aimed the gun directly at me. He ruined my life. Before he could pull the trigger, a shot rang out. The police fired. The man collapsed. It was over in seconds. Later, we found out Mike survived. He had been shot in the shoulder when he tried to stall the attacker. The former student had spent years moving between prison and psychiatric treatment. And that day he came back to the school for one reason, to find me. Even now, 3 years later, whenever I drive past that high school, everything looks normal. Students laughing, teachers walking to class. But every time I see that building, I remember the tunnel and the day someone brought a gun into a school just to hunt down one student.